Hello everybody, I'm Benjamin Lardinois. I'm the CEO and co-founder of On-Hertz. We are a Belgian-based company and we are developing audio-first production software for the broadcast and media industry. Today we are going to look into how Artisto can easily be integrated into larger production workflows, especially with the help of another Belgian solution called Cuez, which is cloud-based. It's a newsroom, rundown and automation solution. But let's take a step back. What is Artisto? Well, we call it the audio mixer with benefits. And these benefits, for example, include the fact that Artisto comes with a very comprehensive API that allows Cuez and any other solution really to control or be controlled by Artisto. So that's what you are seeing here. For example, we have all the properties of what we call the launchpad, so the card player. And that's another reason we call it the audio mixer with benefits. What you see here in the middle is actually a mixer. But there here, for example, we do have a launchpad, which is typically a feature that you wouldn't find in other hardware-based or traditional mixer. We not only have launchpads, but we also have audio over IP support, monitoring, advanced dynamics, and so on. So that's exactly why we call it an audio mixer with benefits. And why does it matter? Well, today, what we are seeing is that teams need to work a lot faster and hopefully a little bit smarter as well. And so they need automation. And they need automation because content creators are in the driving seat. And these people, they are not technical, and that's fine, that's not their job. But that's exactly why the combination between Cuez and Artisto is very powerful. And together, we are bringing what we are calling a content-driven audio mixer. So this video will be presented by Jan de Wever, who is a solution manager and automator specialist at Cuez. And he will show you how easy it is to create rules in Cuez and then control Artisto in the background. So enjoy the video, and of course, let's discuss any project that you might have, and that would include a combination between Cuez and Artisto. Thank you.
Hey, and welcome to this little demo about Artisto, how it integrates with our automator. Combined, the two make a very powerful combination. The one I would be demoing now is a little demo about how you can use it for radio news, for example. But of course, you can use it for anything, as a mixer next to vMix, for example, or stuff like that. But let's dive in and see how that goes. On one side, I've got our automator running. I can load a rundown. On the other side, you've got Artisto running. There's some basic functionality in there, like NDI receiving and sending out, because Artisto does that, and it's a really powerful way to bring in audio. I've got a player, I've got a second player, I've got a card roll in there, I've got a mixer, and I can influence these faders if I want to. Also the players, of course, and stuff like that. Let's check how that works. In Automator, in the end, integrating a device is always easy. Artisto is already in there, and the only thing you need to put in there is a name, the host name or the IP address, and the port number. Port number is by default already filled in from our side. And on the downloader part, you have to define, if you want Artisto to play out files, which we will be doing, where that download folder, where that media should go. Also take into account which of those blocks will be used. In this case, we will be using the codes, the audio blending, and several parts of the start of the show. When you start building those automations, you will quickly see that we read out anything that's in the API of Artisto. So take this, for example, the set mixer button I have on top. Let's take a look at this. This is now at volume 0, this fader. I can now just click that button, and now it's at -10. That's because we built an automation to do that. We want to also influence that second fader. Let's see how we do that. Basically, it's really easy. I already had that button we showed before. Let's just duplicate that. We can do that, or we can build it from scratch. Let's do that. So disabling this one, add a section, choosing my Artisto. I want to set a level. You can choose from any of those 19 functions we've got in there, but in this case, we want to influence a mixer. So we want to set a level, and then you get a full list of anything, any module that's already in our current Artisto project in which you can set a level. That means all the audio inputs and outputs on the project, but also you can search for things, like in this case, I know it's going to be a mixer, and I immediately get to the part where we have mixers defined in the name. I'm choosing this one because you can give your modules within Artisto custom names. We also read those custom names. So you immediately know, for example, I needed the mixer demo channel. So I already had the channel 0 done. That was the first fader. Let's do on the second one. You can basically set a delay if you want to, and then after clicking the button, it will wait until the delay is over and then perform that action. Duration, let's make it really slow. Let's take it for 10 seconds. So I want that fader to move during 10 seconds. And I want also to set the curve to do it. You can do it linearly, logarithmically, or exponentially. So let's do that. The other one is disabled. So this will be done through the Artisto API. Set mixer. Let's go over there. And there the fader is moving. No one is touching anything. And there the fader is moving over 10 seconds in time exponentially towards this 10 level. What we also got in this, basically, this is a little rundown that allows you to do a radio news show. How does that work? For example, I've got a card saying start a show. Let's check what's in there. Basically, we reset a lot of things. It's not a finished project, of course, but basically we make sure anything that's already playing, we stop it. And we make sure to the card file the correct jingles and bets are loaded. So basically, this block should allow a newsreader, a journalist, to read into the microphone. So in that case, we're not doing anything at this moment towards mixers, but we do make sure the bets are playing in that card player within Artisto. Which bet? That is chosen by the user. They can choose bet 1, bet 2, and so on from the Cuez rundown part, but based on these conditions, whatever they chose, we define which of those bets will be playing. So if they did choose bet 1, this one will play on the card wall, bet 2, this one, and if they did not make any choice, we will play another one, a default one maybe. Towards the quote part, there we also do similar things. We basically make sure that certain audio file for that quote is loaded. We make sure that the file is set to 0 to the beginning of the file. After 80 milliseconds, we give it a play command. And we also make sure, in this case, for example, the microphone is closed. But yeah, that's really needed because we want to hear that quote going. Steps in there, we have a pause button defined. So let's take our rundown. Basically, start a show. Nothing seems to happen, but yeah, you could add automations to start the intro jingle or start already a bet. In this case, with this, a bet will start playing. Let's check that in Artisto. Whenever we go to that card file over here, there is already a bet playing now. Let's now check the player quotes part, because now we'll start a quote to play back. You click it and it starts playing. You can see that it is playing. We got time code, so you know when it will end, and you will see at the end, for example, of that one, we will move to the next block. Again, such a reading mic, which will make sure that in this case, the microphone again will open and we will be playing that second bet. Stuff like that, it's easy to build, especially by using the Artisto API, really flexible, really working well in combination with Automator. There are a lot of workflows possible, not only, of course, towards radio applications, but also towards any kind of TV or streaming production, one-man band studios and stuff like that. Artisto can be the audio engine behind the scenes, making sure any audio mixing is done separately, externally from, for example, vMix, while also at the same time taking care of mix minuses, IFB mixes, bringing intercom in there, in that kind of flows. There's a lot possible. We've done such integrations with customers, and it's really powerful to do that. Thank you for watching.